Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Dylan Love, the managing editor of cryptocurrency research firm Token Metrics. You're watching a special episode of Crypto Roundup brought to you on the Engine Room podcast. Be sure to give this video a like on YouTube. Find the Engine Room podcast in your favorite audio format, and stay with us. We're here to help you make money in crypto. Joining me today is Mr. Bill Noble, the chief technical analyst of Token Metrics. Happy days to you, Bill.
Happy Friday.
And we've also got Jacob, our market analyst. What's up, Jacob?
Hey, Dylan. Glad to be here.
Well, guys, here we are at the end of another week. It's as always, busy week after busy week in crypto, and this week was, of course, no exception to the rule. I want to start by talking about something that happened literally this morning, a dog-themed cryptocurrency, and I'm not talking about Shiba Inu, but I'm actually talking about something called Anubis DAO, the crypto called Ankh, A-N-K-H. About $60 million has gone missing from people pledging their money into this liquidity pool, and it's caused quite the outrage, quite the stir on DeFi Twitter in particular. I kind of want to throw this one to Bill. Bill, when can we trust DeFi protocols, or should we never trust them, period?
Okay, this is a good question. So DeFi 2.0, as coined by Coinbase's research department, is officially underway with Olympus DAO at the center of it. They have a revolutionary model in the sense that they want to own the liquidity that they get rather than incentivizing people to sort of give it to them temporarily, to keep it short and sweet. Now, how can you trust Olympus? Well, Olympus is giving you incredible staking rewards to do business with them. Mm-hmm. So that model is experimental and risky, and you're being compensated for your risk. Now, can you trust forks of Olympus? I don't know. After this news today, and even before that, I would say hell no, because the Olympus model hasn't been proven.
Can you explain what you mean by them Olympus owning their own liquidity?
Yes. So Olympus has some of the most complicated tokenomics out there. As I understand it, in the past, DeFi protocols would give you their token and provide incentives for you to provide liquidity. And as soon as the incentives were done, as soon as they were done giving away their token, the liquidity would disappear. Olympus is actually using their token to buy people's liquidity like their ETH. So you sell us ETH, we'll give you our token, and we own that ETH. And then they, like a centralized bank, are out there in the cryptoverse earning a return on that ETH and then sharing that with people who stake the coin. So that's the tokenomics of Olympus DAO. That is what the theme of DeFi 2.0 is. Just like DeFi 1.0, when it came out, people were like, what? What is that? Okay. So we're still trying to understand it. We took a whole live stream to unpack what I just said. And of course, complicated tokenomics is, a petri dish for scams.
Yeah, and today is certainly no exception. I mean, I mentioned the Ankh token. It's now gone to zero because there's no liquidity for users to sell into. So it seems highly likely that this is either a straight-up rug pull by the people who designed the program from top to bottom, or those guys somehow got exploited by a malicious third party. Everything that I've read, I understand that all of that liquidity, that $60 million, was actually just held in a MetaMask wallet on a Chrome extension. There was no hardware wallet going on. Just terrible, terrible OPSEC, if I can say so myself. So even if these guys had the best intentions and it was a genuine project, they were begging for somebody to come steal that money.
Yeah. Anyway.
FOMO can get you in trouble, man. Like meme coins, like may not be meme coins, but meme DeFi.
Yeah, meme DeFi is a scary notion. Let's change gears ever so slightly. So we had news from the conventional business world that Facebook is rebranding itself. Everything is metaverse now when it comes to Facebook. We are going to be living and breathing in virtual reality. And that certainly means that we're going to be playing games in virtual reality. Facebook certainly has its own game plans for the metaverse, but but crypto has had a game scene for quite a while already. We've seen quite the pump in what's called a metaverse crypto coins. I'm talking about games like Axie Infinity and Decentraland. These coins are pumping this week. Is it just about the Facebook news, or is Facebook kind of like lighting a little fire, and then people are waking up? Oh, this is interesting. I should get in on this. What's the reason for the surge in metaverse crypto this week?
Well, as I like to say, frequently the market pays attention to one thing, and the actual real huge trade is over here. So everyone is going, oh, wait, look, it's SHIB. And then really over here, it's metaverse, because metaverse has now got three behemoths: the crypto world, Silicon Valley, and I think Wall Street is going to want in too. Okay. So this is, this is the big battle. It's the gold rush. And, if I may say so with some editorial controversy, Facebook has to take its social media platform, which can bum people out, right? Let's face it. When you look at Facebook, do you compare your life to everyone else's? Does that make you feel blue? And are you strangely addicted to that process? Well, if Silicon Valley wants to keep that profitable process going, it's going to have to port itself to the metaverse. So on one hand, I would love to get together with my high school football team and play games against other high school football teams in the metaverse. That'd be great. On the other hand, dystopia is going to be profitable, or at least it seems that way. And we're cheering for the cryptoverse to have it not be dystopia, to have it be a place where you can live and shop. So, this is almost like the movie The Matrix, right?
Yeah, I'm getting quite that vibe. You're reminding me, Bill, of a classic New Yorker cartoon where it's there's like a bombed out landscape, and it's a older man and a young kid huddled over a campfire, and he says, yeah, sure, we depleted the world's resources and it's nuclear fallout everywhere, but for a brief, wonderful moment in time, boy, did we create some shareholder value. Right. Yeah. I mean, we're speaking the same language here. It's Facebook doesn't exactly make me feel good because of just the nature of the thing. As we're comparing photographs and status updates, at least it's on a flat screen. But it seems like in the very near future, that same level of malaise will be brought to us in full 3D displeasure. So who knows what's going on? I don't know. Jacob, you're younger than us. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd like to answer your first question. I do think the increase in metaverse cryptos prices is mainly due to Facebook's parent company changing their name to Meta as a nod to the metaverse, and because first of all, their stock, their market cap is $900 billion, so a little below the entire market cap of Bitcoin. So it's a huge company which has huge influence, and I think we haven't even seen the capabilities of what a metaverse can do. We've seen it in these dystopian movies, but in fantasy, but it has the capabilities were probably 1% of what can actually occur in a metaverse. And I think it's interesting just looking at Facebook's Twitter account, or Meta. They said a few tweets. They said, "Hey, at Balenciaga, what's the dress code in the metaverse?" Or wonder what ordering groceries in the metaverse will look like.
It's so thirsty.
Yeah, it is thirsty, but it's interesting to think that there's all these possibilities of activities, of revenue that can come in a metaverse. If you can just order groceries through a metaverse, that's crazy to think. I mean, I personally order groceries from Amazon Fresh and get it delivered to my door. So imagine that's one step from 10 years ago where you actually had to go into a physical grocery store. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But what the next step is ordering it in a metaverse.
You're talking about visiting a virtual reality grocery store, putting items in a virtual grocery cart, and then checking out with a virtual cashier. And then later those groceries are delivered to your door.
Yeah.
Right. So shopping in the metaverse will be done with crypto. This is Facebook's end around to probably get their own money. They wouldn't allow they wouldn't allow Libra in the real world, so they're probably going to want Libra or some version of it paying for things in the metaverse, because you might not only buy groceries, but you might, buy tickets to get into a club, sporting events. So who's paying with what in the metaverse is the big question.
If I'm any kind of informed crypto nerd or fintech developer, then this is my moment to build a decentralized and open alternative that wins against whatever Facebook is cooking up. I don't know. I don't want to sound any alarm bells, but this is a company that has repeatedly demonstrated that it can't be trusted. We have people blowing whistles at the highest level of the American judicial system here, and that stock price is still going up. So I don't know exactly what to make of how Facebook behaves. It's amoral. I don't want to say immoral, but just amoral, without any morals. Anyway, that's far be it for me to proselytize anybody like that. But let's turn the page to the last little story that we're going to cover here today. You know him, you love him. His name is Michael Saylor, and you know what he loves. He loves Bitcoin. And MicroStrategy is his company. They've got quite a bit of Bitcoin on the balance sheet. In the third quarter of this year, MicroStrategy has added almost 9,000 Bitcoins to its total holdings. So that brings the company's total crypto holdings to just over $7 billion, while the market cap of that company is about $7.4 billion. Bill, help us understand what this means. What is going on at MicroStrategy? Saylor has repeatedly said that he's buying Bitcoin as a technology play. But if the total holdings, if his total Bitcoin holdings are pretty much equal to the total value of his company, what's really going on there?
All right. Well, to state the obvious, the guy's an absolute animal, right? he's just the envy of every hedge fund trader in terms of his conviction. MicroStrategy was a small to mid-cap computer company, and their business model is now completely dwarfed by their Bitcoin holdings. He says it's a technology play, and he might be right. I mean, you don't know what the dominant network for money will be. Is it going to be in the decentralized universe, or is it going to be Bitcoin, Lightning, and whatever some nebulous people build as a DeFi network attached to Bitcoin?
Mm-hmm.
So, he's doing his risky play is he's betting that Bitcoin tech and the Bitcoin blockchain and the Bitcoin ecosystem can go beyond just the future of money. So he's not only being a financial visionary, or at least, that's what he was when Bitcoin was at 10K, but he's also saying Lightning Network, and in the voice of Bitcoin maximalists, like, don't talk to us about DeFi. We, as in the Bitcoin community, haven't built it yet. So he's betting on an expansion of the Bitcoin network by some nebulous party. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be his company. We don't know, but obviously the guy's making the bet.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard anecdotally that his cost basis is significantly below current market price for Bitcoin. So is MicroStrategy about to launch a Bitcoin exchange? Like, is there a business play to be made here, or is it just hodl and sit tight for 20 years, 50 years? And I don't know what goes on inside that head, I guess, is really my question. What goes on inside that white-haired head?
Well, I mean, I took a picture with him at Bitcoin Miami, and kudos to him for being outside in that heat in an all-black suit, taking pictures with Joe Public. So the guy's motivated, right? I mean, the guy's motivated, and he's betting on something that very few people talk about except esoteric Bitcoin Maximalist podcasts, in that the Bitcoin network can expand beyond money. That's it. That's got to be the bet.
Okay, so
otherwise he's off the reservation.
Yeah, you're immediately reminding me of a soundbite I heard him give on a few different videos in which he talks about owning Bitcoin is like the equivalent to owning blocks of Cyber Manhattan. And it's about what's going to be built on top of those blocks in the future. So basically, he's buying up as much of Cyber Manhattan as he can, knowing that it's going to become the most valuable real estate theoretically in the world.
Right. I would go as far to say is that Michael Saylor thinks the metaverse is our current reality revolving around Bitcoin as both a network and as the future of finance.
Yeah. Intriguing stuff. Jacob, what's your take? What's your take on Michael Saylor continuing to bet deep and heavy on Bitcoin?
I mean, I think it's personally a great investment. I mean, he's saying Bitcoin is 50 times better than gold. So whether we think he has some deeper tech play behind it, or is he just adding a bunch of assets to his balance sheet that's better than gold or better than fiat currency? I mean, he at the same time, he also owns 17,732 Bitcoin at an average of a little less than $10,000, which is about $1.1 billion currently.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a huge stake personally in it. I mean, I'd love to say that he has some deeper tech play behind this, but maybe he's just a smart investor that he's trying to hedge against inflation. Maybe it's as simple as that.
Yeah, there's another soundbite that I'm remembering in which he says, if you have $1 billion, how do you protect that money so that your grandchildren's grandchildren will also have access to it? And it seems like Bitcoin might be a pretty savvy way to do just that. Now, he doesn't have any children that I understand, that I'm aware of, but he's clearly thinking about legacy and his future and how is he going to be remembered. And I don't know. It's just so fascinating to watch this guy make his moves. Michael Saylor, come on the podcast. Let's talk. I think you'd enjoy it. Yeah. Open invitation for CEOs of various companies on this podcast. Absolutely. Yeah. Any parting thoughts before we wrap this thing up, guys? We covered 3 stories there in pretty good depth, I feel like, but any parting thoughts?
Hey, stay with Token Metrics, man.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Stay with Token Metrics. Stay with us, and we appreciate your business and your viewership.
Likewise. Guys, this podcast goes out 3 days a week. Be sure to follow the new show on Token Metrics TV. We're here to help you make money in crypto, help you figure out what matters and what doesn't matter. Until then, stay safe.